Hey, I'm Lance James, and I help people navigate their spiritual awakening. So today I want to talk about part of that awakening process that's pretty common, and that is questioning your faith or your religion. And I just want to go into a little bit more about that process with me and my background. And the reason why is because I made a post and it resonated with a lot of other people. And it was a picture of like Jesus, looks like maybe Buddha in the middle and Krishna on the bottom. It says, if when you're vibing with more than one religion, so you make your own. The thing that I've learned through this process, and I'll start at the beginning. So I was brought up in Nashville and went to a Church of Christ church, which is pretty strict. They don't believe in dancing or drinking or women being part of worship. They don't believe in instrumental music. Not judging it, it is what it is. But I went that 3 days a week, Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday. And then 1st through 12th grade, I went to a private Christian school, Church of Christ school. We had chapel every day. So I was essentially going to 8 church services a week. And I had to take Bible every day. Some of my toughest classes in high school were Bible. I had college professors teaching it. So the point is, I had a good dose of it. I could memorize and quote a lot. I can still rattle off all the books of the Bible if you need me to. Anyway, I feel like I missed the point. But part of awakening for a lot of people is you're going to question your faith. I have a lot of friends who've personally gone through this. And I guess when it really started to me, probably early adulthood, not long after college. And as I began to awaken more, I would get bits and pieces of other things. Maybe it was something Buddhist or something, from Hinduism. And by the way, neither one of them are like religions. You don't have like a Buddhist, it's not like the traditional religions here. But I think it's very common. When I first started to question it, I felt really guilty. I felt guilty just to even be open to something else outside of what I was told, because I was taught it's that way or the highway. I literally grew up thinking other Christian denominations. My parents didn't teach me this. It was just kind of from the environment. I really thought that Baptist people were going to hell and Methodists, Catholics, I thought all of them were going to hell. It was just Church of Christ. It's crazy, man. It's crazy what we go through. And part of that growth process is to question your faith. And what I've learned, not only through that is it a good thing, but it's actually brought me back to read the Bible in a completely different way than I ever did before, and have a completely different vision and how I see Christ now. And it's a process that everyone goes through, and I think it's very common. So if you're going through that process, just kind of let it go where it leads you. You're not always. We're trained to believe one thing and push everything else away. And honestly, through some of my teachers who were not, any specific religion, I was led to other things that brought me back and allowed me to see the Bible and to see Christ and to see things in a completely different light. I think there's so many amazing teachings in the Bible that the points are, I think a lot of people miss the point because they're caught up in what's literal and what's not. So if you're questioning it, don't feel guilty. Just allow yourself to explore other things. And, honestly, if there was one superior religion and only one was right, how is that? What kind of God would do that? Because there's places in the world that don't have Church of Christ or Christianity. Does that make those people evil beings? Or are they condemned to hell? No. I don't believe that's what God is about or love is about. And I'm not trying to make this super religious, but honestly, it was Ram Dass and some of the teachings from India that really taught me what Christ was about. And his guru talked about, he urged them to meditate like Christ. And they asked him, how did he do that? He said he lost himself in love. And that's one thing I didn't realize until I started looking at other religions, is how much Christ is revered and loved in so many other religions. And I'll say this from my experience in churches, and I'm not condemning them at all. I don't think we need the big church on every corner. I don't think I think it's a waste of money, and it's just, it's more division. You know, I don't think that you have to have a house of God or a place to go worship. That's just my opinion. I think the money could be used in better ways. And I'll say this, and I'm dead ass serious. I have seen more judgment, heard more judgmental comments, more egotistical, horrible things said inside churches than I have anywhere else. And a lot of people like to go to church and feel like that they're better for doing so. And if I'm not knocking if you want to go. I go occasionally to a service here or there with family or whatever, but the point is, be open to other things. And if you feel pulled to other things, you never know. It may lead you back and give you a better understanding of your faith, but don't feel guilty for it. It's part of that awakening process. So if you're questioning your faith, if you're questioning what you've always been taught, my advice is to go with the flow. It doesn't matter what you do. I'm not against any religion at all. They all have beautiful messages, and honestly, I think most of them are about the same thing. Love each other, respect each other, be grateful, give praise, serve others. That's the message of all these spiritual books. The Tao Te Ching, the Bhagavad Gita, the Quran, all these books. So be open to other things. If you're questioning it, it's okay. It's a very normal part of the spiritual awakening process. And you know what? Like, at this stage in life, like, I read the Bible, I read the Tao Te Ching, I read the Bhagavad Gita, I read different books, and I get so much from being open to other things. And like I said, they all reinforce one another. Just kind of want to make a video on that, and because I posted that and got some good feedback. So if you're going through that, you know, just go with the flow and see what you find. You don't have to feel guilty for venturing out and seeing what else is out there. It may just reinforce your faith even more, and that's what it's done with me. It's just a different kind of faith now. Thanks, everyone. As always, have the best day ever. Thanks for all the support. Please hit like and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.